Okay, so Charlie and I are here today, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna carve a Karli out of this Japanese elm. This is quite a heavy, dense wood, and it's been basically been drying out for a few months, seasoning. I put some linseed oil on the end so that it wouldn't split. Because this branch is kind of bent, we're just gonna kind of carve this as we go. We're gonna have to cut this off, cut that off in order to get a straight template here that we're gonna then be able to carve the wing out of after we get the template. Could cut those splits off. So this is longer what the finished stick's going to be. We're going to be getting the stick out of the middle here. Probably not even past this section, but I got to cut this down before I can kind of see where my edge is. So what we want to do is roughly keep this lined up with the bend as we're cutting down too. Came off a little angle there. So as you can see, we're getting more of a flat surface here on this side. We're pulling out those irregularities that were in the side profile of the branch, and just getting a nice flat surface to start to work with. Okay, so we're nearly there. We can really look at this thing and really see that it's fairly flat, at least for a rough cut on the axe. And so I'm coming in and I'm doing a lot more fine detail work now is my next stage, where we got to just get this thing flat. And so really choking up on the axe, just taking little bitty pieces off. Just keep working with it like this. I'll get this detailed up. Now we have a Farrier's rasp, and what I can do to put the finishing touches on getting this to be a perfectly straight surface is take my rasp and flatten it out. Alright, I'm struggling for some shade here, so I had to change my setup. So, working with the Farrier's rasp here in order to get the final straight surfaces. I got to get everything level and straight here. So, that's what we're doing. Okay, so I got a Shinto Japanese Saw Rasp. And it does a nice job, bites into the wood really well. And what I like about this rasp is it's extremely lightweight. It's the type of thing that if you wanted to make a point of bringing a rasp out into the woods, this is what I'd bring, because it's very aggressive. It has two sides, the fine finishing side and then the rough cutting side. It's made out of hacksaw blades, so it doesn't get dull very easily. And it's very lightweight, so it does a good job. Okay, so I got the final finished blank here. On the one side, it's cut out, that is, and got it nice and flat. You can see it's a real nice straight edge. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to saw back to about a 1/2 inch thickness all along the length, and I'm going to chip out the other edge. This can also be done with an axe, but a saw makes it easier. This is really hard wood. This is a silky Gomboy saw, and it's really, really still hard. Now we have 7 cuts on the back side here, and it's time to take off the back side. As you see, we have this side really just very, very flat, and now we cut these off, and these cuts will help us to split this out. And you can be aggressive about it. And it also gives you a final place to cut down to before we have to start doing the final work. Coming along. Clean it up, bring it down to about 5/8 inch thick with the axe. Alright, next step now that we've got this backside rough cutted, or the top side. The bottom side is pretty smooth and good, the top side is rough cut. So we're going to cut the shape, because easier to cut these edges and to get this to the basic shape, and then come back and do the final carving on the top side without going too thin, since we can actually see what we're doing at some point. So thin this out. Alright, it's coming along. Thinned out a little bit through here, and so it's not so wide, which will make it easier for me to begin to kind of shape this into where it needs to go. As you can see, I have drawn an outline of the shape of the Karli I want to do, and as you can see, we are extremely close to that line. It's really starting to take shape. Now, after you get near to the line in terms of your rough cutout, you have less material to now remove on this back side. And it's actually safe at this point to take your blank and cut these corners off to round the upper wing surface. One thing I forgot to mention earlier is that whenever you're cutting your blank, the first side you cut is the bottom. So if you're right-handed, it will be this side, and if you're left-handed, you would flatten this side, and then you go in from the other side. Because you want that bottom side to be flat, the top side is going to be curved to a round shape anyway. So this becomes kind of your straight surface, so that you can judge everything else off that. And just about ready for the rasp. To take this back to the rasp, just getting the last little fragments of wood that I can get off with the axe before doing the fine work with the rasp. Okay, the use of the rasp allowed me to bring the edges right in line with the line I had drawn, and so you can see that it's coming along quite a bit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to carve the airfoil carefully with the hatchet in order to remove the majority of material this way, and then I can finish up with the rasp. Got a pretty good rough cutout. Airfoil hatchet. Get the thickness pretty even. It's looking good. Continues to come along here. I got the upper surfaces rounded, and we're just trying to thin it down and get it pretty even. It's really coming along now. It's starting to be beautiful. You can see this thing coming together. Lots of work with the rasp. Okay, so I'm pretty tired. Come out from the workshop. Even in the workshop, as I was carving it, I was working on getting it to the basic shape that I knew was going to throw well and fly right when it came out of the shop. And there's about a certain amount of weight and a certain airfoil that you're looking for when you're doing this. So I got that on here. So I think it's going to fly pretty good. Polished it up. And so I have it all polished because I'm going to tune it now and see what kind of tuning it needs. And if I polish it after I tune it, then the result will be that I'll have to retune it after I polish it. And so you polish it before you tune it, and then you polish any areas that you tune as you tune it. And so let's give it a try, see how it flies. Tired, so I'm not feeling very good, but it looks like it's pretty good. Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to get all this in before dark. I've done all this in one day here. Started about 11 a.m. this morning, and so wanted to see whether I can get this done in a day. We're standing at 70 meters between here and the fence line. Okay, needs a little bit more lift. It's not quite making the distance, so we're going to put that in. Nice. 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 All right, so there we have it. The sun's going down, so I'm running out of time. A lot of footage I wanted to get, but I just didn't have time. Making and tuning a Karli in a day. This weighs about 328 grams. Looks like it's about 62 centimeters. It's a smaller Karli, but it's within the size the Aborigines would make, and that's just what the log wanted. It's what the size of the wood was. It just seemed to want to, if I was going to do it nice, to do about the size. So it's real nice, and we just demonstrated that it will take straight flights out to 55 meters, and I'm going to definitely improve on that. I just need more time and a better place, because I'm not going to throw this beautiful elm wood into that fence too many more times before I'm taking a risk. One last throw. Yeah, see, it hit her off. I think it's okay though.